Happy LCS Media Day, folks. The 2026 calendar year pretty much kicks off today for those of us behind the scenes. In case you don't know, today's the day where half of the players or half the teams in the LCS go to the Riot Games arena. They do all those behind the scenes videos that you see and the transitions between games. It's where press get their first chance to really talk to some of the players with in-depth interviews. A lot happens. And with that, half the teams that are playing in the NA tag team will also not be available to play for a good majority of the day. So I'm not going to touch or refresh this probably until Wednesday, or I might even just hold off until Friday, depending on what happens here. But you can get a pretty good idea of where things stand at the moment. Of note, I am filming this on January 11th, so Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Obviously, these guys live on the West Coast. It's only 7 o'clock there. So I'd imagine they'll be playing a good bit into the night, and some of the information of this might change, but you can get the general sense of what's going on. First, I want to give a massive shout out to all the players that have been streaming throughout this tournament. I know I've been laying it on thick at points, specifically Yeon and YeonJJ for the first few days. Today, YeonJJ did go live and streamed quite a few games. Griffin has obviously been streaming a good bit. XU turned on stream today. Quid and Jose Dioto have been trading off days. Masu and Cryogen obviously have been around. The C9 boys. Everybody has been doing their part that has been part of this tournament. And I really do appreciate it. Now, I know there's some people within the community that look at this and say, well, look at the streaming numbers that we're getting, and then look at what Busio's getting right now. He's getting 8,000 just as part of being a part of K Corp in some capacity. Look, they have that juice over in Europe. And the reality is, this is where we're at in North America. This is where the genuine interest for teams and individual players currently lies. But this is where we have to start building from. And that's why streaming consistently and doing events like this is incredibly important, because even though you might start off with maybe 100, 200 viewers, in some of these guys' case, only 40 to 50 people watching, but that's how it builds. And then you have a pop-off performance on the LCS stage, and then that might grow by 20, and it keeps going and going and going, and then you make fans of teams and players, and eventually you try and get to those numbers. Obviously, individual players can't do all the work here, but I just want to say, this goes a long way. Streaming and going out of your way to interact with fans and build a community is massive, and that's the whole point of this tournament before we get to the standings and the money and anything else. So thank you to every single player that has streamed, that is engaged on social media in any capacity, and to the fans, I really hope you've been enjoying this. Please be more vocal on Twitter as well. You all play a part in this as well. We got to hype up our guys the same way that if I mention K Corp in a tweet, it gets 1,000 likes immediately. If somebody mentions your team in a tweet, like it, share it, do whatever you want. Anyways, to the groupings. First, we're going to talk about the contenders, the top 5 or 6, how many is it? Top 6 that are all within touching distance of each other. And that at the top starts with Yeon and YeonJJ, who have just played simply the most games out of everybody on this leaderboard, but are also still winning, at least at the time, at a 68 to 69% clip, which is right around where most of the top end pros that have played a good bit so far are landing at. They confidently hold about a 7 to 15 game advantage from the teams that are below them. Those LP gains might seem like a lot, but don't forget each win is 30 LP between the two duos. So you can make up ground pretty quick, or if anybody goes on a loss streak, that can hurt you. Speaking of that, let's take a look into Yeon and YeonJJ real quick. Going from the support point of view, YeonJJ actually had a little bit of a loss streak earlier today, which allowed some teams to catch up just a little bit. Now he's playing a few games separate from Yeon at the moment and still winning, and notably only losing 10 LP, which I don't quite understand that one, because I know Quid is notably losing 30 anytime that he loses versus YeonJJ is only losing 10. So I don't quite know that one at all. But Core seems to really enjoy the engage supports. Braum, Leona being his 2 most played at the moment, alongside Elise, because him and Yeon were just spamming early game champions earlier in the weekend and doing quite well with it. If we are in an engaged support meta, it feels like this could be a really good year for Team Liquid. Jumping to the 3 teams below them, which happen to all be a combination of mid-jungle. The other ADC groups seemingly lagging behind. But for every jungling group here, the most played champion across the board without question is Jarvan. Pros are obviously better at it. It's a good facilitating pick. I spoke a little bit with Griffin. You can check out that on a YouTube short where he talked about why it's specifically picked here. So for each of these junglers, I'm going to look past that specific champion and look at everybody else. For Griffin specifically, it's a good bit of the Mbessa and a lot more of the Riven. Like, these are the only 2 champions, realistically, the only 3 champions that he's been spamming this entire time. And hey, it's working, but it's clear he likes playing that aggressive style, a clip of which you will see later in the community highlights. Some people might be surprised to see that Palafox and XU are currently 3rd on this ranking, and that comes off the back of XU having a hell of a time in solo queue right now on the Qiyana and the Mbessa of all champions. The Qiyana being his most played 10 games with a 90% win rate. The dude's popping off and carrying every time that he plays it. I'm looking at like 100 MVP rating. Oh, dogs are going ballistic. Going over to the Team Liquid mid jungle, who are on a bit of a loss streak right now. Jose Dioto's trying out a Jace jungle, a Skarner, a Rammus, a Viego. It looks like he's starting to experiment around a little bit more. Only losing 10 LP in these losses, but that's a lot of red. It's wild too, because this duo has climbed a lot in the last 3 days. They started later than everybody else, yet have shot up the leaderboard, partially due to the fact that Quid, I think, had a higher base level MMR, so he was just climbing rapidly. It's not like him and Jose Dioto's games are all that much different. I'm seeing 29-17, 34-18. Yeah, it looks like Jose Dioto's played a good bit more. Obviously lost one more, but like, he should be higher up. But no, Quid's still sitting comfortably like 50 LP above him. But again, still within spitting distance. For them, only 10 games behind. So a win streak and the same loss streak that Jose Dioto went on, but for Yeon and YeonJJ, yeah, easily doable, just depending on the amount of games that each individual team can play, obviously. Finally, both 12 and 15 games off the lead, respectively, are the Shopify Rebellion and FlyQuest bot lanes and Bvoy and Seos and Cryogen and Masu. And quickly looking at Seos, it looks kind of the opposite of what YeonJJ had. A little bit more enchanter spam. You do have this Nidalee pick, which I don't know if that's support or jungle. I don't know if he's filling. I'm assuming it's support. He tried a little Blanc game. Seos is just throwing some stuff out there, but that Karma seems to be doing well. A little bit different style, which might enable Bvoy a little bit more to carry whenever Shopify plays these games. Who knows? But that's pretty much it for the contenders. Let's drop down to the bottom half, which is more of the coaching battle, okay? Which coaching staff can go into this season saying, hey, yeah, your drafts might be good, but your gameplay on the Rift is shit. And I think this battle is very close to being over. I mean, Demonte and Revan are just so far above. They're not playing as many games as some of the pros are, but Revan is sitting with a 27-7 record. Demonte 23-6. Like, they're one of the highest win rate duos in this entire thing. They're just not playing enough to climb up all that high. So, looking down below, who's going to get the bragging rights of not being last? Well, Anero and Dom. Let's look at the junglers. Again, obviously, Jarvan, peak for everybody. So, excluding that, Dom is playing a good bit of Malphite. 11 games of Malphite jungle. I mean, sure. I don't see anybody else at the top of the ladder playing, but hey, it's winning for him. And then, go figure, it's Dom. Udyr. Yep, showing up there. ThinkGuard also jungling, but besides the Jarvan is playing Rek'Sai, Yorick, Elise, and one game of Sejuani. Yanko's probably shuddering in his boots somewhere over in Europe. I'm really curious to see how this one goes, because it just seems like it is neck and neck between the two of them, and how by the time you're watching this video, somebody could have opened up a slight lead. But for now, looks like that title is still sitting firmly in Shopify's hands, but who can come in second? That's pretty much it for the leaderboard update. Let's go to the community a little bit. And we finally got our first little bit of banter with Blabber and APA talking a little bit of crap against their counterparts on the FlyQuest side, who apparently are the only free wins that they get.
Yeah, we can always get some free OP from Quad and Griffin.
The only people we can beat in the whole server are Quad.
Literally, the only people we can beat. It's actually too fucked up.
But the next community clip comes on behalf of the guys that are the free win, single-handedly saving a game, 3v7 basically. So that's pretty much all there is to say about the North American Tag Team event right now. Keep tuning into the streams if you can. Support all the individual players. We got a few more days. Well, we've got pretty much a week left of this. It'll be over at Saturday at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or midnight on Saturday night. Well, Saturday night, Sunday morning for the pros out in LA. 14 $700 per person going to the winning team. Can Yeon and YeonJJ hang on? We will see. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the LCS address, which comes out today. By the time you're seeing this video, it might already be out. We're going to talk a little bit of LEC in Europe later in the week, and then probably wrap this whole tournament up on Saturday night going into Sunday morning. I'm not sure. The upload schedule this week is going to be a little bit weird. I want to try and make sure I'm updating the North American tag team, but if there's also not a lot to be said, I'm not going to force a video on it. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. It's going to be the best place to see your daily leaderboard updates, and check out the website down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you around. The LCS season's about to kick off. It is sooner than